gentlemen, welcome to Thursday Night. Grapple Pro is here. I'm Wheelz with a Z, and nobody is next to me here in the studio. Thank the heavens. We got a big-time matchup here tonight for your viewing pleasure. There is Laylah James, and her opponent here tonight happens to be the Grapple Pro champion, and that is Mr. Fancyy. Look how fancy this guy looks. So 2 years ago, these two competitors squared off inside that very ring. Mr. Fancyy had yet to hold any gold at that point in his career, but by popular demand, they needed, and I'm talking about you guys, the fans, needed another Laylah James and Mr. Fancyy matchup. And of course, as we always do, we give you, the fans, what you want. We hear your voices, we see the comments. Laylah James, Mr. Fancyy, Thursday night, Grapple Pro. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. It is 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we are here, locking up in the center of the ring, Laylah James and Mr. Fancyy. A little bit of a feeling out process here. Laylah James might have a little bit more strength than Mr. Fancyy, but Mr. Fancyy, the speed on him when executing any sort of move inside that ring is unmatched. That's why he is the champion. That's why he has gold around his waist. Just dropping Fancyy with a shoulder and chirping at him right after. Crisscross, and Fancyy gives a little bit of a shoulder himself, sends Laylah James down to the canvas. That's what I mean about being quick on his feet. Fancyy is just like a cat. Up to the second rope there, trying to get 10 punches to the head, but stopped at a few. Drop kick sends Laylah across the ring, hook of the leg. Karen in there for the count, only good for 2. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors here tonight. Dulce Pinapinto, attorneys at law. You hurt on a job or personal injury, make sure you call Dulce Pinapinto, attorneys at law. Big time kick right to the throat of Laylah James, sends her crashing down to the canvas. Another sponsor we want to shout out is, of course, Carbone's Pizza. That beautiful sweet sauce must be tried by everybody who is hearing this right now. Carbone's Pizza, go get you some. Backbreaker executed well, and now stretching out Mr. Fancyy. Beautiful execution by Laylah James in the center of the ring, knowing the ring positioning. Fancyy trying to get out of it. He does so by giving the knees right to the side of the face of Laylah James. Laylah James real quick on Mr. Fancyy right after being broken up with that backbreaker. Shades of the Undertaker with that backbreaker. Used to love watching Undertaker do that backbreaker and then stretch his opponent right out, taking out all the wind. And of course, a body shouldn't bend like that. Speaking of abuse, Laylah James just throwing everything at Fancyy, looking to become the new Grapple Pro champion. Because the title is on the line, of course. We got the workhorse, Mr. Fancyy, always putting the title up for grabs whenever he's in the ring. For the most part, that is. He's always putting it up. for grabs. This match happens to be that way. Looking to just wear and grind out Mr. Fancyy is Laylah James, just doing everything she can to try to taste some of that gold. Nice suplex there done by James. Stretching Fancyy out once again in the center of the ring is Laylah James. Fancyy just trying to get some feeling back in his legs, or trying to rally together the fans. Nonetheless, he's out, but back down. Now, Laylah James has had the upper hand all match long tonight. Big swing and a miss by both, and again, and double clothesline. Great minds think alike. They are both down to the canvas. We are back live over at the Walleye Association Club inside Hamburg, New York, October 26th. It is going to be a show you do not want to miss. We got owner and operator Mikey Everynite lacing the boots back up once again to teach one of his students a lesson of respect. And that student happens to be the dark horse, Anthony Musso, former Grapple Pro champ. And boy, do these two have quite the fight on the 26th. The disrespect that Musso has shown his co-workers as well as Mikey is just off the charts. And that's why Mikey's lacing him up after 5 years of an absence inside that ring. It's not something he wants to do, but he feels and told me personally that he has to do for the students at the gym and the fans at home. He has to do it for them. I interviewed Mikey right after Only the Strong event in September. Bulldog by Fancyy. Could this do it? Hook of the leg. Karen in there, 2 and 3. No. Holding on as Laylah James is popping up her shoulder at the right time. And of course, continues the match. Karen needs to step in there. Just choking Fancyy out. Let's see this replay by last sponsor, Genesis Gaming and Hobby. Beautifully done, too. That Bulldog was very well placed and right on target. Fancyy has Laylah James tied right up here in the center of the ring, but breaks free. Well, Laylah James has had everything that Fancyy has thrown at her just well scouted. What a big tornado DDT, hook of the leg by Fancyy, 2 and 3. There it is. Fancyy going off the top rope, high risk, sometimes pays off. And this time here tonight, Thursday night, it pays off for Fancyy, and he retains his Grapple Pro Championship. Proud champion, fighting champion. There he is, right there, and all red. And man, doesn't it match beautiful with his attire, that championship belt? Look at that. A thing of beauty. Just going off the second rope and spinning around off the other ropes in the center of the ring to drop Laylah James right on her head. Of course, Laylah James not happy about the result, but it was a great effort on her part. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, of course, like you always do every single week. Don't forget, this Monday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook Live, we will be back. 1 second. Yo, at the end of the show, big news. You're getting back in the ring, and it's against Musso. You think it's wise, after being out of the ring for so long, to go in there against a competitor like Musso? The guy's mad, too. I mean...
Yo, Wheelz. 5 years I haven't been in the ring, and I know the camera's right here. I'm not gonna play around like this is like some sort of wrestling promo. I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna talk to these people directly. Sometimes in life, there are things that you have to do, and there are things that you want to do. Is this something I want to do, Wheelz? No. I'm happy and content being behind the curtain, making matches, and doing all that other stuff that people always wish that they dream they could do, right? I'm very content doing that. But when you give somebody chance after chance after chance after moment to redeem themselves and do the right thing, and then they just go around flashing money these days around to buy themselves out of the problem, I think this is a situation that we're going to have to handle personally, one-on-one, mano-a-mano, October 26th, right here. We're going to get the job done. Wheelz, you lead them out. You know what?
Well, I just want to tell you, man, you are, I consider you a real good friend of mine, and I have a lot of concern with you getting back in there, dude. I don't think you should do it, frankly. That's just me personally telling you as a friend.
I appreciate your concerns. You know what? You're entitled to them. But this is something I have to do, something I want to do. I don't want to do it for me. I want to do it for the fans. I want to do it for the people that count, Wheelz. I ain't no punk. I ain't going to let somebody come over here and disrespect the competitors who work hard, and to the audience. You know, they deserve a finish. They deserve 5 more minutes for that conclusion, and they didn't get it. So Anthony Musso, I'm telling you, buddy, the 26, you gonna get it. You gonna get it real bad. Wheelz, lead him out again.
You heard it with it right from the man himself, Mikey Everynite, and of course I'm Wheelz with a Z.
Pack in the bag, 26.
He shouldn't do it.